Next question, is it a good idea to do yoke carries for selection prep? It can be. However, a lot of people will mess themselves up doing yoke carries by going way too heavy. If you are experienced with yoke carries, you've done them before, you don't do them with a bunch of ego and overload the hell out of them and walk like 7 feet and then blow your back out, then yoke carries can be great. If you are trying to just load as much as you possibly can, or if you're trying to mimic selection, team week at selection, like 1-to-1, or you're doing it with a ruck on in the gym, that's a little bit overboard. And it could potentially be a costly mistake because yoke carries can hurt you if you are not reasonable with it. That being said, they can be a good thing to implement into your strongman work in preparation for SVS. I don't have my clients do them in general unless they have a really good setup for it and they're experienced with yoke carries. Like I've had certain clients that are like former powerlifters and stuff like that that have them at their gym, and I know that they're not going to be going too crazy with them. Then I'll program it, but for the most part, I don't. If you go through a good solid selection prep and you gain a lot of strength, you spend some time with a ruck on, you spend some time with a bar on your back, you do other forms of carries, searcher carries, you do single arm farmer's carries, suitcase carries, all those types of things, odd object carries, over the shoulder carries, then you probably are going to be totally fine without yoke carries. I never did a single yoke carry before I went, and I was quote unquote weak and skinny, and I never had an issue with the weight on my back. But if you have the resources for it and you are competent with them, then absolutely. Some people will say these are make or break. I don't agree with that. If you're capable of, squatting 300 pounds with a bar on your back without hurting yourself, and you're capable of rucking long periods of time, recovering from it, rucking fast, you're generally a strong individual, then yoke carries are not going to make or break your potential success. They could be something to add, but they're not make or break like running, rucking, doing farmer's carries, single arm suitcase carries, and other stuff like that. So